Hi guys, a very good morning to all of you. Now is the sound okay? Now is it fine? Yeah, just check. Audio is okay. Arvind, Naveen, Surbi Priya, very good morning. Good morning guys. Yeah, I think now no audio issue, right? Okay. So quickly join in. We'll read the editorial for today. Surbi Priya, how are you? Looks like I'm seeing you after a long time in the session. I don't know why I feel so. Okay. Uh, so today we will be reading an article from the Hindu newspaper, first day of the month. So January is already over too soon, I would say. Right now, starting with your February month, I hope, guys, the first month of the new year you have been reading on a continuous basis. That is a resolution we had taken. If not, you still have chance. I really want all of you to read on a regular basis, minimum 3 editorials or articles per day, right? That is what is the minimum target we keep, right? So again I will say, yeah, continue your reading spirit, and daily when we have this editorial we cover one in the class only. Others you can do, other two suggested articles also you can read for the day, and that will be sufficient, right? So very good morning. Quickly join in. Now I will quickly mention the names of people who have given the reply for editorial yesterday comment section. So I've liked your answers. I've just checked. Chandni, excellent job. Okay. Uh, then you have Gargi, Vikram, Priyanka Sharma, Aman, Anil Kumar, Paras, Venkateshwara, Ajay, Surbhi, Brightside, Virendra, all of you guys, excellent job. So when you write in the comments the answer for the question that I daily give you, you learn or you remember it for the long term. So do this, keep doing this excellent job. Mention your answers in the comments for each day's question of the day, right? Acha, tone of yesterday's editorial. There were two I had given you, Akhil. So yeah, if you have commented there, I will after this session also mention the exact tones there. Okay, clear? Okay. Overall, what we took in class, I think we did discuss the tone. Just check it. Otherwise, the one suggested ones, I will put it in the comments also. So to begin with, I have my new course, which is Foundation Batch. You already know, only English. If you want to prepare, you can enroll for this course. Complete all sections also there, Foundation Batch. ESIC UDC starting with a new course. And very important is this interview batch, guys. So because yeah, very soon your interviews will begin. You can use my code Harshita and get maximum discount on this as well. Mock interview will be available by experts, personality development classes, GAGS classes. So interview batch, if anybody has cleared PO mains, definitely go for this. Use code Harshita for maximum discount. Now, if you want multiple courses on Oliveboard, the best plan to buy, I have told you earlier also, Banking Super Elite Plan. Here in this plan, you can access multiple courses, all sections and all exams of banks and insurance. Okay, in this also you can get discount using the code. Now, let's revise the vocabulary from yesterday. I want to see how many of you remember the words. Okay, every day we learn so many new words. Revision is very important. So, what we'll start with is a revision of last day's vocab. Tell me quickly all of these 10 words from yesterday's newspaper. What's a green signal? RBI gave a green signal. Tell me, meaning, what did we discuss yesterday, guys? Yes, excellent, Ilakya. Approval. Soumya correct. Naveen correct. Approval or permission, right? Permission to do something, approval to do something. Excellent. Permission or approval. Okay. Then what about this? In tandem with. Second word is in. It is as a phrase we learned, in tandem with. Mishti, very good morning. In tandem with. One more thing. Yeah, I really want to mention the person who always shares also each day's vocabulary. Okay. So Vijay, excellent job. So in the Telegram group, you shared also all the words. Excellent, and thank you for that. In tandem with is alongside each other. alongside each other. Along with, yeah, correct, alongside each other. Under the purview of, when we use this, under the purview of means we are talking about the scope or range or extent of something. Scope or range. Correct. Envisage. Remember this word, guys. The hint you will get from here only. VIS. So envisage is basically when you have a vision for future, right? So envisage, if I use this word, remember from vision, okay, something you imagine that might happen in future, okay, that might take place in future. So from the word itself, if you take the hint, you will always remember. So if I say envisaged, it means you consider it as a possibility for future, to imagine something that it might happen in future. Okay, predict, imagine. Okay, predict or imagine. Future, think about it that it might happen in future. Correct. Awaiting, this is a simple one. Awaiting is waiting for. Awaiting means waiting for. Correct. Impart, we say always impart knowledge. Impart is to provide. Impart is provide. Framework is your basic structure. Basic structure of something is the framework, right? Aggregated, guys, I think I discussed according to the news article yesterday with all of you. Form one group. Aggregated, put it in one category actually. Form one group, put in one category, one cluster, put in one category, that is aggregate. Okay, form a group, put in one category, aggregate. Capitalized. Okay, so businesses are capitalized means like the government has capitalized banks. What do you mean by that? The government has actually capitalized banks. Government has given them money, right? Government has given them money to operate. Okay, or capitalize means given an advantage. Okay, yeah, provide money. Pity is something sad. It is sad. It is a pity. It is sad to see something sad. Pity means sad. Negative emotion, pity is sad. Right. Uh, Chalo. These were your words from yesterday's newspaper. I know yesterday was a little tough one, guys. Banking news, and I told you read it again. You will understand better. I did not take very easy article yesterday, but this is slowly and gradually we develop our comprehension, right? Okay. Now can we start with today's editorial? Yes, from The Hindu. The Hindu newspaper. Today I have taken all from the Hindu. Suggested articles also are from the Hindu. Okay. Okay. Let's begin reading. All of you guys. The heading or the title of this particular editorial is Turbulence Ahead. So when we talk about flight, turbulence means you all must have experienced it. I have. Okay. First we say a state of confusion. But when you are flying, there is strong sudden movements, right? Strong sudden movements. Okay, we experience some turbulence on flight. Basically, when we are usually approaching electrical storm or anything, that is turbulence. Now, here you can take both ways. The term is state of confusion. When there is no order, that is turbulence. A state of confusion. Fine now? Now okay, yeah. If you will refresh it once or twice, it will be okay. Guys, refresh it once or twice, it will be fine. Huh. Silicon Valley of India. Okay. Arun? Okay, some very important words also in this paragraph, if you will see. Okay, I'm writing the meanings for all of you. Arduous is full of difficulties, needing a lot of effort. Again, difficult task that needs a lot of effort is long haul. Okay, difficult task. Long haul is also, we use it as a noun, guys. Something which is a difficult activity, difficult task. Okay. When we say a long haul flight as an adjective, means connected with transport, connected with long distances. Okay. But as a noun, if you will use it, it means a difficult task which requires a lot of effort. Yes, very correct. When we say culmination, totally correct. It is always related to climax. Naveen? Yeah, you are right. Culmination is climax, related to climax. Correct. Okay. Notwithstanding. Notwithstanding meaning, as a connector we use it, adverb preposition, in spite of it. Okay, in spite of something. Notwithstanding, in spite of something. Remember, as a connector word also we use it, right? Notwithstanding. Considerably, significantly, okay, notably large in size, significantly, notably, okay, that can be noticed easily because it is large in size. Okay, dominant is important position here. Okay, dominant meaning, dominant position here as an adjective, more important or powerful position. Important, powerful. Okay. Now this word I told you as a noun adjective, different meanings. Long haul. Okay. Remember this. Chalo. Here as an adjective we are using it. Long haul flight. Full of, you can say, long distance flight. That sense. Okay. Hiatus means pause. Like I have written no om. Hiatus means break. Pause. Hiatus is the word. So when we say use this word, hiatus means any activity that stops in the middle. Okay, any activity where there is a pause. Okay, where something doesn't happen, a break, a pause, right? Hiatus. Okay, so Tata Group's consummation, completion of acquisition of Air India last week. So full acquisition happened last week, completion of the acquisition. So when a company acquires, you understand guys, acquisition, right? You buy. So Tata Group has bought Air India again, and the full process was last week, it got completed. It shows the climax of the airline, the end, the point at which this full event ends, of the airline's return to its original founders after almost seven decade of pause. Okay, so after a long time, guys, after 7 decades, airline is Tata, of course. Air India is back to Tata Group, right? This starts, and arduous means a very difficult flight, long distance flight, because for the loss making formerly state owned flag carrier, remember carrier for transport, we are talking about Air India, who was of course which was operated by the government, and it was loss making. Okay, so Tata's enthusiasm. Now you see grammar also here. When we say Tata's enthusiasm, see the Hindu also follows the grammar rule. So Tata's apostrophe is there, not S again, because possessive case, because the word is already ending in S, we don't put S again. Okay, so Tata's enthusiasm for winning back what was once the country's most popular airline brand, in spite of the skies in which the industry operates, have changed considerably. Okay, so the Tata Group is obviously very excited about this winning back their, iconic, very popular, very famous brand of airline, which is Air India. Though the thing is that now the skies in which the airline industry operates, functions, is the time has changed. It works very differently. Okay, so if you look at the market share data from domestic air passenger segment, there is international segment, domestic segment, flying in the same country, right? So domestic segment, if you will see, the budget or low cost flights have an important position now. Okay, because they command or they take 1/5 of the market, 4/5 of the market. Basically, why? uh, Obviously during the pandemic, going to different countries or going abroad or travel abroad was restricted. So if you talk about domestic market, it holds a significant major position. Okay, right? Correct, guys? All of you clear with this? So Tata Group is still enthusiastic, full of energy after winning back their very popular brand. Okay, but now the skies in which the industry operates, right? The way, or you can say the environment in which this industry works, there is a lot of changes that have happened in this industry, right? In airline industry. So continue reading. Next, second para. Deepash, very good morning. Okay, Ashish, very good morning. The Tata Group's full service venture. Guys, you already know Vistara Airlines, right? So that is already the Tata Group's venture, okay, business. If you see Vistara, okay, with no less a partner than Singapore Airlines on board. Okay, and this partnership is Tata plus Singapore Airlines partnership, that is Vistara. Okay, so that is Tata Group's full-time business venture or business, right? So we say no business venture. Venture means project, right? So venture is your business, your project. Now, see here, guys, if I highlight it for you, with no less a partner than, no less than means how, when do we use it? How do we use it? Acha Praveen, if you follow my session for a week, you do that. You will get a good understanding how to use or how to read editorial. Okay. So Praveen, I will tell you for beginners also. Follow it for 1 week. You will get a good understanding. Guys, why this is written? No less than Singapore Airlines. What do you mean by no less than? Yeah, Vistara is Tata plus Singapore partnership, like Naveen has mentioned, 51 plus 49% stake. Okay. Okay. So when you emphasize that something is actually, surprisingly surprising or actually impressive, right? So Tata Group's full-time business, if you see, with no less than, when you use this no less than means you need to emphasize, you are showing how, impressive this is, right? So the Tata's actually is in, you can say, partnership with Singapore Airlines. Okay. Now that Vistara airline, if you will see, it has struggled to establish a strong position in the market. Now, Tata have added this one also, Air India also. Okay. So they might find themselves, okay, in a big trouble, okay, which a major part of their combined domestic market share of 23% as of November, being in the less in demand full service segment. Now you can understand, because of the pandemic, travel has decreased. So, right. So Tata might find themselves with difficulties, with problems, because a bulk of their combined domestic market share, which is 23% of share, domestic market share, being in the less in demand full service segment. Okay. Now, if you take the group's newly combined share also from the low cost segment, if you talk about Air Asia, India's 5.9%, and the fractional share that Air India's Indian Express has, significant enough at the moment to give it the size in the high volume business. Now, you can see data is given here. If you talk about their business data, first, they are in full-time business with Vistara, okay, which is impressive, okay, which is a, you can say, partnership with Singapore Airlines, okay. They have already struggled to maintain or, create a strong position for themselves in the industry, right? Now with Air India also, now they are adding Air India also. So Tatas are actually going to have been a burden or big trouble. That is what the writer says, right? So with the bulk of their combined domestic market share being in the less in demand full service segment, right? So there is lack of demand in the segment. So that is why Tatas might be in trouble, right? Okay. Clear? So they might be in big trouble with the addition of Air India also. They already have Vistara, for which they could not create a very strong position in the industry still. Okay. Getting it, guys? So I think writer is very negative here regarding how will they function, the Tatas. Okay. Right. So next one. Next para. Good morning, Ishbala, right? Ishbala. Is that your pronunciation of the name? Tell me. Okay. Now, aviation is anything related to flying. Okay. Aviation industry is your airplane industry related to flying. Airline industry, anything related to flying is aviation. Okay, Mati? Very basic word. Okay. Uh, Now, let's read this passage. What does it say? The group is said to be considering, okay, consolidating, combining Air India's domestic low-cost services along with Air Asia's India's operations. That shows, it is a clear indication symbol that the Tata bosses realize the need to make effective use of the various aviation resources that are now in the groups that are belong to the Tata group to enhance practicability. Okay. Air Asia India is actually a joint venture with Tata Sons. Okay, they have 83.67% stake. Okay, and Air Asia Investment Limited. So again, Tata Sons have hold here also. अच्छा, that is Ishwarya. Okay, okay, Ishwarya. ठीक है. Aviation is flying industry, airline industry. We say aviation industry. Now, Tata Group is actually thinking of combining Air India's low-cost services with Air Asia's operations. That is a clear indication. That is a clear sign that the Tata bosses, okay, they realize that they need to make effective use of the various resources that are the part of the group now, because now to enhance their practicability, yeah, their ability, they will have to do it, right? So the Tata bosses, when we say, because Air Asia also, guys, Tata has a, you can say, stake. Air Asia also, Tata has a stake. Okay, right? So that is what they are considering. Now, what about the international market? What they have, what plans they have for international markets? Let's read that. Guys, one more question that I have, which you can all find. In India, if I talk about airline business or if I talk about aviation industry, so how do they function? Like it is not profit making for sure. Okay. So how do they function? Is it profit making? Aviation industry, is it profit making? Aviation become, like Arun, you have a viewpoint here. Aviation has become monopoly. Everything with the Tatas, I think no, still not a monopoly. For them to function is hard in India. You see the fuel prices increasing, right? Overall, if you see, aviation industry is not doing very good. Airline industry is not doing almost very good. Okay. So, pandemic has hit the industry badly. Aviation industry pandemic also has hit it badly. Okay. International front, on the international front means, if you talk about, see, domestic market we discussed first. So if I talk about the international area, international front, what they are saying is Air India faces multiple challenges again. Okay, not the least of which is government's current pandemic related restrictions. Obviously that is a big problem. When do we use this? Not the least of which. Not the least of something means, the biggest one, if I say, okay, equally, the big challenge is, not the least means equally big, right? Is the way that government has restricted or put limitations on international flights because of pandemic. Now, foreign carriers, don't read it as career, carrier, both are separate. Carriers, okay. So, carriers restricted to limited capacity under the air transport bubbles. Now, guys, everybody should know it. What happened during the pandemic time? So, airlines are not like one autumn leaf. You are asking me what are these air transport bubbles? So, there are certain, you can say, restrictions created during the pandemic. So what are these bubbles? That, okay, from this part to this part, temporary arrangements are made between two countries who want to start flying, okay, or restart their passenger services, okay. So with regular international, see, regular flights are all suspended, they are all cancelled, but bubble is that area where they have made temporary arrangement, okay, to travel. So air bubbles, if you say, this phrase, it was in pandemic only, I think we have got this phrase, okay. Air bubble means, uh, bilateral agreements India has, okay, in the process of, allowing certain, for certain countries India has allowed that, okay, you can fly to certain countries, okay, and with only certain kind of certain airlines, right? So rest all is cancelled, all flights abroad are cancelled, but there are certain, you can say, exceptions to that. Those are the bubbles, right? So bubbles are created, okay. So there is a way created wherein you can have, where you can go for international travel, but that is very very limited to limited places, limited countries that you have, okay. So the arrangements that are made, okay, to travel to or fly to certain countries, those are your bubbles, right, using the national carriers, right? Okay, carriers is related to transport, it is not career, okay, carriers, okay. Not the least means of equal importance, not the least, it is of same importance, same, not the least, of equal importance. So challenge which is equally important or equally, you can say, Air India will face is the pandemic limitation that has put by the government. Okay. Now foreign carriers are limited to limited capacity under the bubble. The bubble is created means some selected, you can say, airlines will be allowed for international travel. So restrictions, arrangements made for that is your bubble. Okay, getting it, guys? Right. So Air India has found itself limited or in the number of overseas flights, international flights it can operate under the bilateral agreements with counterpart countries. So with some countries we have agreement, we have still allowed them flights to go there. Okay, overseas is your international flights, right? The Tatas, though, could use the current limitation of overseas services as an opportunity to undertake a long overdue overhaul of Air India's in-flight experience, right? So, see, right now the writer says that Tata can consider, even if we are allowed to only go to a certain limited countries abroad, with which we have a pact, with which we have, you can say, an arrangement. Bilateral means involving two parties, right? So bilateral arrangement is there. Okay, change it, modify, bring in all the changes to the experience, which is much required and pending from a long time for Air India. Okay. Today, I don't know why the net issue is there. Again, I will say, guys, just refresh it once or twice, it will be fine. Today might be a problem with the net. A second or two it goes. If you refresh it once or twice, it will be fine. Okay, once or twice refresh it, it will be fine. Okay, in-flight experience means the experience given to customers when they are in the flight, okay, provided during the journey, okay, in a plane, okay, provided during the journey in the plane. That is your in-flight experience, right? So it is a right time for Tatas to improve that Air India experience that they give to consumers, and which is something they can make changes, modify. So it's a good, you can say, opportunity for Tatas to do that now, because of the limitation that is there to fly to international markets. What they can focus is on enhancing the experience that they provide to their customers. Okay, next one. I think we have two more paras. Let's quickly read these. The ban lifted, is it mentioned that? Yeah, restrictions are lifted. So the limitations that were there are no more. Lift means the restrictions, Debujit, if I say restrictions are lifted, limitations are lifted, means the restrictions are no more. Okay, they are removed. No more restrictions, right? Lifted. The ban is lifted. Like we say, no, the ban is lifted. The restriction is lifted. There are no more restrictions. Acha, normalcy is a noun word. Excellent. Means the condition of going back to normal condition after a crisis, right? The state of being normal. Normalcy is a noun word, definitely. What is strategic, guys? Helping you to achieve a plan, something which is strategic. Okay, so connected with plans, connected with strategies to achieve something. Okay, connected with a plan. Okay, so with Vistara also operating to only few destinations overseas, abroad. Okay, the Tatas will need to decide if they want a younger in-house competitor to Air India once COVID restrictions are lifted, or normalcy restored as regards international flights. Yeah, with relation to international flights, if we go back to normal situation, then Tata will have to decide that Air India will compete with Vistara, or for the Tata group, the choices going forward will need to be very, very strategic, planned. Okay, so there has to be a very, very, you can say, detailed plan for Tatas. Okay, going forward, what will they do or function or in future, right? Clear? Right. So restore means go back to the previous situation. Okay, if we talk about international flights, soon everything will start functioning again at the same way, normal condition. All the flights will run. So at that time, see, Tatas have a decision to make. Okay. Now, what is this younger in-house competitor? See, both are Tata only, Tata Airlines only, Devjyoti, that you are asking, right? A younger in-house competitor. Okay. So, Tatas will need to decide if they would want a younger in-house competitor to Air India. So, Vistara is already there, which is younger, which is a new, you can say, venture of Tata's, right? So, in-house, why in-house competitor? That also belongs to Tata only, right? So Air India also now Tata only, right? So a younger means, which is younger, guys? Vistara is relatively new if you compare with Air India. Okay. So yeah, a younger in-house competitor. So will Vistara, will Air India get a younger competitor in-house? That too, in-house means of the Tatas only. Okay. Both belong to the same brand now, right? So that is why they have mentioned. After the COVID restrictions are over, what will happen when we go to the normal condition, when international flights will start? What will happen? Tatas will have to make a good a strategy, work on a strategy, on a plan. Okay, getting it, guys? Younger in-house competitor. Huh. In-house means both belong to Tata only, right? Under the same organization. Churn is provide service, basically. Churn. Lucrative market, luxury related to. Lucrative is something which lucrative business for allowing you to earn a lot of money. Okay, from business class, they used to earn, airlines used to earn a lot of money. Tap into means gain access to something, use something, gain access to it. Okay. So tap into means make the use of resources, gain access to it, yeah, use it. Okay. Predominantly, most importantly, mainly, you can say, right. Right. So what does it say? With the domestic market set to see more service, with at least one new budget airline set to enter and other rivals struggling for capital, the group needs to decide whether it wants to add capacity to budget offerings or stay a full service carrier at a time with when the more lucrative business class travel has been hit. So what does it want to do? What should be the strategy that the airline has to think about? Will it be run like a budget airline? Okay. Okay, whether it wants to add capacity to budget offerings, will it be a budget airline so that everybody can fly, common man can buy tickets and access, or again, it will be a full-time carrier with also having lucrative business class, but right now it has been hit. Okay, now cost. The problem with the airline industry in India is fuel cost. The problem is why they are not able to make profit. The costs are exorbitant. They are huge fuel cost. Okay, and they will increase further. That is what is expected. These fuel costs will soar, means increase also again. So Air India will need to use all of the Tata groups talked about managerial expertise. Okay, so there are professionals, experts in there. You can say managers in the group And now we will have to use their skills, their expertise to see if we can turn this into a successful buy. Tatas have got the Air India back, but if it will be a successful buy or no, we have still to see, and we will see about it. Here Air India will need to use all their expertise, okay, and see how they can make this business profitable for them, or at least, not loss making, right? Clear, everybody? Wanted is praised. Okay, a lot talked about praised. Okay, so it was about Tata Group. But what is the tone, guys? If you see turbulence ahead, it is actually kind of warning for like what I felt right after reading the full paragraph, full editorial. Writer is trying to give a warning, like Tata groups, they will have to strategize, plan, because the market, if you see international market, we are not completely operating. There are so many limitations due to pandemic right now. Okay, so I think it is actually giving a warning. If I say so, it is giving a warning. Cautious tone. Yeah, even I felt it is like it is cautious tone only. Uh, because yeah, how will Tata's function? Turbulence ahead is the title also. So yeah, there is concern, cautious tone, because they are talking about, and last few lines definitely Arka, I will say suggestive, when they are suggesting that Tata should take use or make use of their managerial expertise, right? But overall, if I say, I feel it is cautious tone. How will they function? How will Tata's function? They have to strategize, plan. There might be difficult times ahead. Okay, so overall cautious tone. Now, okay, grammar lesson from the editorial. Uh, I will go with your part of speech here. Also, some phrases, not the least, for example, was important. Okay, not the least. To show that something is equally important, right? Depends. Flying Hockey is saying that we need to work on budget airlines more than luxurious service. Business class. Now, business class has stopped, means that has given a lot of losses to the industry, right? Because business class, from where they actually used to earn something, airlines, now which international flights have stopped, that has stopped. Pandemic has hit the airline badly. Okay, guys, not the least. When do we use it? Emphasize on a particularly important example or reason, that this is equally important. Okay, that we say not the least means it is something is equally important. Yeah, equally important. Something is equally important. Okay, words, vocab words from today's editorial. First is predominantly. Now, very important, you all understand that it is an adverb. Predominantly, what does it mean? Predominant is the adjective. Predominantly, adverb we use. Mainly, most importantly. Okay, mostly, mainly, mainly. Adhikanshat, mainly. Okay. For example, population of the island is predominantly Spanish, means mainly, mostly, right? Wanted, like I said, adjective word. Wanted means something which is talked about a lot, praised a lot, appreciated a lot. Praised, talked about, okay. अत्यधिक, जरूरत से ज्यादा actually, अत्यधिक प्रशंसित, okay. More, sometimes more than something somebody deserves, okay, and is praised, right, or talked about is wanted. Okay, yeah, overhaul is repair. Okay, overall means bring changes to it, right? Change or repair, if it is required, you change or repair, that is overhaul. Change, repair if required, ठीक है, किसी चीज की मरम्मत करना, overhaul. Okay. So you see, and if there are any changes required, you try to repair it, do the necessary changes. Okay. Culmination as a noun, if we use it, guys, what is culmination? Means the point at which an event ends, like a climax. Okay. Culmination is same related to climax, the point at which a series of events or an event ends. Climax. Okay. The culmination of years of practice of hard work. Okay. The book fitting was a fitting culmination to his career. The end, climax, the last he wrote. Okay. End point, climax point, you can say. Culmination is basically climax. When a series of events come to an end, when one particular event come to an end. Pariniti. Parinati is end. Okay. Foothold, guys, having a strong position in the market. So foothold. Foothold is a noun word having a strong position in the market in a particular area. Okay. Strong position in the market. Okay. Basically, you have a strong foothold, we say then. Okay. So foothold, a strong position. Stable position, किसी चीज की पकड़ होना, correct. Actually, yeah. In Hindi, if I say, I'll write it like this only, पकड़ होना किसी चीज में. Hiatus, like I said, break, pause. So after so many decades, Air India went, after hiatus of 7 decades, Air India went back to the Tatas, right? So hiatus, noun meaning pause, okay, where an activity stops, okay. गतिविधि में विराम, pause, break. Okay, hiatus, something which stops functioning for some time, there is a pause or a break, hiatus. Okay, arduous meaning which requires lot of effort. Arduous is a difficult thing to do, full of difficulties, needing a lot of effort. Okay, arduous task, we say, full of difficulties. Arduous journey. Okay, arduous task. Shram sadhya, which requires a lot of hard work, lot of effort. Arduous task, difficult. Okay. Curtailment. Curtailment is a noun word, guys, meaning restrictions. Okay. Noun means cutting down of something, action of limiting something, action of reducing something, action of limiting. Curtail means limit or reduce. Okay. Curtailment of liberties, curtailment of holidays. Okay, limit or reduce. कटौती, ठीक है, कट करना, कटौती करना, लिमिट करना. Viability is how a project is viable. So when I say viability means how practical it is. Viability is practicality. Okay. Yeah, viability means ability to work as intended. Okay, it's a noun word. Practicality, how will it work, right? Ability to work as intended, to be successful in any you can say work. Okay, so viability of a business or the state of being viable, practical. Okay, how it will work. Vikas Shamta in Hindi, if I say. Okay. Pragmatic, correct, practical. Consummation. Consummation means when something is consummated, means finished or utilized, successfully completed. Okay, so the acquisition was consummated last week. Okay, so consummated means it completed, the acquisition of Air India was completed last week. Okay, complete. Successfully over, successfully finished, consummated. Okay, so the acquisition was consummated. Actually, yeah, as a noun, consummation, complete, ended. Okay, right. So these are very, very important words. Now, the other two articles I want you to read from the first Feb newspaper 2022. Already, guys, second month. We are in the second month of the new year. So the other two are also from the Hindu today, which are important. Another one regarding a sports person, and the unemployment issue is discussed here. Okay, so both from the Hindu. Hmm. ठीक है हाँ. So yeah, flying ox, that is true consummation, two meanings here. The context was completely finished. Saddled with is your phrase that you have to mention in the comments below. And yeah, please do that, guys. Answer for the question of the day. For PDFs, use Telegram group Harshita Khurana, the grammar girl. By the way, today 5 p.m. class will happen. So yeah, yesterday I could not take the session, but today there will be a session at 5 p.m. Okay, so be there in the evening, and rest is the paid class that we have. So do join, guys. And ESIC class we have. For anything on Oliveboard, if you purchase, use code Harshita for discount. Interview course is live. Please do enroll for it. Using my code, you will get discount. Okay. Yeah, today I will definitely take 5 p.m. session, guys. So 5 p.m. session will happen today. Okay. Right. Chalo, do read this article again about the Air India acquisition, aviation industry, flying industry. Now, I hope many words were clear, but overall, do go through this again. I will share the PDF just after the session. Okay, right. Guys, meet me in the evening again, 5 p.m. for some practice questions and an interesting session. Thank you all.